Also, I very clearly get the sensation that we're in the, look how good things kind of are right now. So that we can reach that point that the flashbacks showed us how bad things are going to get. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with some more modaozushi. Just a heads up, an apology up front. I know these episodes have been coming a little bit out of time to when they're scheduled to come out. Any longtime viewer of the channel might know I've been dealing with health issues for a very long time now, and the last week has been a bit of a thing. So, I am trying to instigate a plan to get us back on track and get these episodes back out in time, like they should be. So, that said, let's go ahead and hop into our normal stuff, which is board, notes, and comments. So first off, the board. And as always, the board comes with a board changelog, where I connected Lan Huan and Lan Qiren with a blue line. He is their uncle, but I wonder if I should be reserving blue lines to direct family connections in this case. The fact that they are all of the same clan should imply that they are related, and remove the need for the blue line via the clan border. In this case, I've continued with the blue line, but may need reconsideration in the future. The only other change to the board was I connected Jiangsheng and Wei Ying to Lan Huan with a green line. So then, to the notes. Lan Zan suggests that to remove the Aqua Demon, removing the water and everything below it, and exposing what remains to sunlight for 5 years would do the trick. But that would be beyond human ability. Well, certainly not. Humans have been draining lakes for thousands of years, especially in China. If Zhuangzhang wants it done, it could be done. I think really the answer falls into the lack of resolve of men. Equally interesting, though, is the conceit that sunlight over time resolves lingering resentment, according to this. I don't know why you'd think you could do some cool parkour and jump onto a roof to get away from someone that you know has their sword on them, a sword you know that they can ride on and fly through the air. Just like I said before, Wei Ying points out that Lan Zan, in the pursuit of upholding the rules, breaks the rules to enforce them on Wei Ying. In this case, not just breaking curfew, as was mentioned, but fighting again. Despite that, I really enjoyed how the next scene showed Lan Zan's incorruptible nature. I know we get shown Wei Ying pointing out the impartiality rule, but I think we all could see that Lan Zan was going to do what he did from the start. He holds himself to a higher standard than Wei Ying, clearly, but it's not hard to see that he holds himself to a higher standard than everyone at Gusu. So we already saw the Wen clan herd the Aqua Demon out of their territory and into a neighboring clan's territory, with what can be considered disregard to the safety of anyone in the region. Now we are hearing from Lan Qiren that complaints about the Wen clan are mounting, as they are telling lies and acting wildly. Unfortunately, Lan Huan notes the same thing the Wen clan said of themselves in the previous episodes. They have many under them, and those that stood against them would just be made a part of those. I wonder what associate with their spirits means in regard to the zombies. Since they were brought back for training purposes, I would assume it would have nothing to do with assuaging their resentment, as I would think that would make them corpses and not zombies, having their resentment purged, I mean. So it must be some other ritual or the like that we haven't experienced yet. It sounds like it's just a means to commune with them in some way, meaning we can talk to the dead at some level. which really makes Wei Ying's ideas even less crazy in retrospect. Well, if Lanzan and Wei Ying are going to become a couple, like I was suggesting before, then it seems like Lan Huan is on board with it, to the point of encouraging his younger brother by putting him into this situation with Wei Ying at the pool. Calling it a pool, I was going to call it a hot spring before, but he literally calls it cold, so it's not a... It just seems like a point where a bunch of like little waterfalls are coming together into a little pool. Though, as I said, really does make me think back to the context of the present of wuxian inhabiting a younger man's body, while Wang Ji has just been aging all this time. It's more of a bit awkward, even if there have been feelings that have been held on to all this time. You know, considering that we don't fully know what goes down yet nearer to Wei Ying's death. I guess Lan Huan now has the nickname Ziwu? Just more stuff I don't get when it comes to the names. I mentioned never having seen blushing earlobes before, neither in real life or in other media. Well, looking it up, increased blood flow from strong emotion, which is, no shit. That's just normal blushing is. Also unhelpful, the go-to example I was given were embarrassment or anger. And both of those fit this scene. He could be embarrassed because of a possible attraction, because of the smooth words of Wei Ying is throwing at him, or he could be angry because Wei Ying doesn't let up. Legit, everything makes sense. So Wei Ying says that he can't kill them all without his sword, which I find interesting. It doesn't imply that he couldn't kill any of them without it, just that he can't kill them all, which I guess is either a measure of his skills, their numbers, or the strength of his somewhat magical abilities. Either way, it is a statement that exists to be built upon. Either way, I'm going to assume that whatever he does at the end of the fight was the aforementioned association I brought up before, as he seemed to be reading the zombie's resentment. Meaning like previous episodes where he first brought up the idea of fighting resentment with resentment, it seems to imply using existing techniques in a way the rest of the world would deem unconscionable. In this case, instead of exploring the knowledge of the zombie itself, exploring its resentment and how to use it. Of course, I could be completely wrong, as we have no explanation for the golden ball or why his veins started bugging out. In the reaction, I had originally attributed it to the scratch, like a zombie virus or something, but that clearly seems wrong as well. The only thing doing is hope that the show explains what's going on here in a later episode. And my final note, quite clearly Lanzan saw what was going on with Wei Ying's hand, even with Zhang Sheng, stepping in front of him, but still let it go enough that he walked away. Jiancheng, on the other hand, blows a gasket over the implications, calling it the dark arts, and that Wei Ying would be expelled by every clan. I mean, we know Jiancheng's attitude come the present, so clearly his feelings on the matter are strong enough to kill over, and won't be quelled by that death. And as I mentioned, we have comments. We have a series of comments from a recent Patreon edition, but I have a note to say about them first. I have edited the comments to remove spoilers. By edited them, I mean I've edited what I'm going to read, not the actual comments. As I always say, people are always quick to tell me things before the show has a chance to, so please resist the urge to do so until I've had the chance to learn it myself. My idle meanderings about what is going on may take question form, but it only seeks an answer if I've actively missed information that the show has given. If it hasn't given the information yet, then that is a spoiler. I'll leave the comments on screen down below, unedited, So if you see it there and you don't hear me say it, know that I considered that a spoiler and then I left it out. So we have Sarah Linda from the Patreon from the episode Lesson Time. You were mentioning it takes you a while to get how this world works, but as you can see by now, you've watched episode 5 and maybe 6, right? I mean, obviously not. This is 6 right here. A lot of the story is told in the flashbacks. Very long flashbacks, so you will get answers and history all fleshed out now that the current part was all set up. We've gone 20 years back to see how they all got to know each other. So 7 years go by before wuxian dies, and 13 years before we catch up to his summoning by MXY. Mo's on you. Oh, right. My problem here is that I haven't delved deep enough into the names yet to have all of the names on 3-letter abbreviations yet. So, yeah. That is going to be confusing, but you've written it that way in the notes, so I'm just going to keep going with that. The show uses color coding to help you tell characters apart and which clan / sect they belong to. White for the Lan clan, gold for the Jin clan, purple for the Jiang clan, dark green / black for the Ni clan, and red or cream with red flames for the Wen clan. WMX will always be in black no matter what body he is in or what clan he's working with, so that stands out visually. Jiancheng, JC, Lan Wangji, Lanzan, Huangjin Jun. Jun is an honorific like Sama in Japanese, is usually referred to as Lang Wengji, LWJ. Jinling is just Jinling. Lan Yuan / Lan Shizui is always just Shizui. Oh, also, it looks like you're watching the version that was made to air on Crunchyroll with both Chinese and Japanese dubs, but the OP and ED are the new ones, not the original ones. You should look up the originals because they are visually gorgeous and the songs are much more traditional Chinese influenced than this J-pop stuff, which is fine, but lacking the atmosphere. I think I mentioned this before. When I had originally watched the first episode, as it turns out I'd only watched the first episode way back in the day, that's probably the one that I saw. Because I mentioned this, like, literally the first episode that we started doing on here, that this seemed weird. This wasn't the one that I remembered. It's not the same opening. And I think originally I had 2 different versions of the show that I was going to react to. And the other version had the original opening, but the problem is that the subtitles didn't fit on the screen, right? They were half off the screen, and I could have gone in and edited them the same way that I edit the subtitles in Space Battleship Yamato or Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It's not impossible for me to do it. I just took the lazy route, I guess. There's no explanation for it. I just chose the file format that I had that fit my existing overlay. So, but needless to say, I've seen it at least a long time ago. All right, same commenter from the Patreon episode Water Ghost. About your board, WX doesn't have a brother, as in a blood-related brother. If something was said about a brother, they would have been talking about JC. Now, I originally read that line, and I was like, God damn it, massive fucking spoiler. The thing is, it's not a spoiler, obviously, because I left it in, and I said it out loud. I know that already. I mean, I know that already, but I didn't put it on the board, obviously. The difficulty is, I know you're commenting on the element that I have a box under him that says brother with a line on it. I think it's also a red arrow indicating that he killed him, because that was said like in episode 1's backstory thing. But also the element that I have Wei Ying's box, the Jiang clan's color, and the other one. So that's represented in that, and that should be representing the element that Zhongsheng is his adopted brother. I don't know what to call it. But I think what happened is that I left the other brother thing on there from way back before I remade the entire board, and just left it there because it has yet to be actually confirmed. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, it read as a giant spoiler the first time I read it, and it's like, oh wait, I already know that. Also, like Japanese, last names / family names come first. They almost always use the full name last, then first. They have to be very close or very rude to call someone just by their first name, wuxian, or instead of wei wuxian. Yeah, here's the thing is I know you're commenting in the order of the things that you watched, but I think literally in episode 5, I figured it all out. So, for a nickname, which they usually only use for little kids or in the heart of a family, parent to child, they abbreviate the first name with an A-XXX. So Wei Wuxian is called Exian by Yang Li, and he calls her Shiji, which means older girl who's being taught by the same teacher, not Gigi, which would be for a true sister, blood or adopted. Wait, sorry, you throw me here. WWX is not formally adopted by the Jiang family. I think that's a spoiler. I think I should have left that one out. Because we've not seen her. I mean, we've seen her, but we've not, talked to her. And I'm still even using the dead version of her on the board, because that's the one that we got the most flashback of. If you're talking about who I think you're talking about, yeah, Yang Li, the one I have dead on the board, then that's kind of a spoiler because, again, not something we've seen yet. I don't know. You can argue with me in the comments. I'm going to probably read it anyway, so. Jizhuan would be pronounced close to Jishan. Hongyang Jun is like Han Guan Jun. Nihon Sang is more formal with everyone, calling them by family name with the honorific Shizhong, Wei Shizhong. You'll also hear gongs used for all of them, which is basically young master, because they are all high up in their clans, heirs to clans, sons of clan leaders, upper class scions, and gifted young men, pretty much. Just to be fair, LWJ was on guard patrol the night he fought with WWX over the wine. He's allowed in that capacity to fight, capture, punish whatever anyone he catches breaking the rules. The element on that one is that's not implied. He never says, I'm on guard duty, do what I say. It's never implied to us that he's on guard duty. He is just... If you ever watch, college movie or something where there's the preppy person who considers themselves to be in charge or that sort of thing, that's the read I got on him because he's not implying any authority in that moment. Oh, and this is the first episode that incorporates a commercial for the show's sponsor, Cornetto Ice Cream, LOL. They stick one in every few episodes. If they've done it again, then I think I've missed it. I just know Cornetto from, God, what are they called? I can't remember their names. Shaun of the Dead, not Last Tour. The Cornetto trilogy. It's an English, ice cream brand, so that's why it was throwing me off when I saw it. I think you need to let go of the classification system for the things they fight, whether they are ghosts, spirits, demons, monsters, it really doesn't matter. Whoever translates doesn't seem to pay much attention and sticks in whatever word feels right. Spiritual energy animates them all, though most of them come from resentful energy, black smoke in the show, which is corrupted, while cultivators are supposed to be using pure spiritual energy. Here's the thing, I'm not going to let it go. I may not bitch about it anymore, certainly not as much as I have so far, but it's part of the show. If it's the translators doing a bad job, fair. I mean, I've experienced that. I had so much time spent on Space Battleship Yamato where the translators mistranslated the date and then just went back to the right date because I was keeping track of everything, as obviously I do. But in this instance, that's solid world building, what they did. Classifying the different types of beasties, essentially, that they would fight. And it seems like a real loss just to get rid of it because we don't use the words right. Alright, next up, once again, Sarah Linda from the Patreon, Heretic Path. Resentful energy is generated by the darkest emotions, revenge, hatred, fear, and so anything that becomes imbued with enough of it can also become semi-conscious. These are the ghosts, zombies, demons, etc. being talked about. What they were before they were overcome with resentful energy isn't all that important, aside from having to fight them differently depending on how they operated before they started causing trouble. Which is more important is how strong each enemy is, how much resentful energy it has / can use. Ghosts are human souls that didn't pass on the afterlife for some reason. If the reason is a dark one, they are powered by resentful energy, feed off of it, and use it towards whatever goal they are obsessed with. If they are just lost souls, confused, watching over loved ones still alive, no big deal. Some of them stick in their dead bodies and move them around, zombies / ghouls, and can be manipulated / controlled if you are in tune with that dark energy. Sometimes a lot of resentful energy pools in one area, and then it becomes something very powerful and not human, like the water demon. This dark energy might possess, consume, or manipulate something / someone, and then it's a weird mixture of creatures, objects, or people, but the original souls of these people are gone. So they aren't ghosts anymore. The dancing goddess statue was already full of dark prayers, so the left arm thing could use it. The water creatures in Sai. Sorry, this is something I've seen a lot, and I didn't say it out loud, so I've never said it out loud before. Kai Town weren't dead people angry about drowning. They were corpses animated by the dark energy of the Aqua Demon, which was also using water grasses and water and probably anything else it could grab. These kinds of demons or monsters might be similar to the curses in JJK, if that makes more sense. So obviously this is part of a bigger note, but I felt like the first half was rife with spoilers. And since we had the previous discussion about the classification system, I thought this was pretty informative, if not the same thing. I don't know. I enjoyed this part, and it didn't seem like spoilers since it was something that we all basically already got taught. So, anyway, thank you for the comments. And I think that is everything so far. As in my notes section, I'm back to the board changelog, so I think let's go ahead and hop on in and see what the new episode gives us.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Well, crap. So, I go through the whole thing, talking about everything, and I always forget that maybe I should leave a little bit of conversation left for the opening, which, as you know, I have to talk over anyway. So, yeah. As I said before, there's just that giant element that I do my best to try and avoid spoilers, because the entire conceit of having the whole note section, which I know most of you skip over anyways. Hell, if you're skipping over the note section, I'm sure as hell you're probably skipping over the opening that you can't hear, and it's just me talking still. But the entire conceit of the note section is knowing what I know, hearing what I think, keeping up with me about where I'm at in the show, so that when you get to the show reaction and you hear me say something like, what the fuck? Why the hell is he thinking that? You know where I'm coming from. It isn't just like an off-the-cuff comment that I'm making. If you're on the journey with me, you ought to be on the journey with me. Technically, the comment section is your opportunity to course correct me, but as I said, at least give me an episode more than the current episode you're in before you tell me something that I may have missed, because in the notes section for the very next episode, I might look back and think, oh, I figured that out. I was wrong. Return. Are we going to be back in the present? Oh, is that going to be the, let's assume it was the Emperor? Sorry, I keep forgetting the year of guy. I mean, that explains why all of them play music, following in the footsteps of their founder.
此四幅便是姑苏蓝氏先祖蓝安的生平四景。茄蓝，
哦，哎，原来蓝家的先祖是和尚，怪不得生出这么多规矩繁多、不解风情的后人。
那蓝谪仙一般，不知他的天定之人是何等超凡脱俗的仙子啊！
I mean, I can't say they're unromantic.
也不乏经历绝伦的仙子。
Literally got married.
子轩兄，你看哪位仙子最优啊？
This guy's been nothing but a dick since we've seen him. I have no idea why, other than the fact he seems to hate the Jiang clan.
肯定达是未婚妻了。果真？那是哪家的仙子啊？必然是精彩绝艳的吧？
不必再提。什么叫不必再提？
Yeah, it's not.
不知金兄对我师姐究竟有何不满？
啊，原来是那个平淡无奇的江燕梅呀，怪不得子轩兄。
Okay. I thought he was gonna be upset that Jiang Sheng was there.
何处让我满意？
Oh no, but he's picking fights.
怎么，我说错了？你那么稀罕你的好师姐，便找她父亲要去。哼，反正他不是待你比亲儿子还亲。
Well, here we go. We're gonna get beaten again.
云深不知处，岂容尔等打架滋事？
Like I said though, the dude's been a dick every time. Also, that's the same sign we saw last time. They got a beaten, so I don't think I'm wrong. Yeah, they said if he didn't carry him out last time, he'd still be there.
汪金兄，好久不见，我还以为你生我气了呢。
Oh, I guess I was wrong. I guess he was just laying around in here.
哎，怎么了？谁又惹他了？除了你还能有谁？我看他是永远都不想再见到你了。哎，对了，
But you still got the rabbits.
听说那厮特爱惜自己那张脸，不知道看了镜子后有何感想？啊？
犬子便承蒙先生指导。
哎，江叔叔来了，师姐不会也来了吧？
阿姐来干嘛？看你丢人现眼吗？
切，
I mean, it's your fiance, I would assume.
你可别再这么莽撞。
阿谢，起来吧，回家了。
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Fang something, but thankfully they popped it on the screen. Fang Mian. And now I have a face to go on the board, which has been like a blue square, I think. I mean, they definitely got cool town places. Oh, that was certainly a camera angle that they gave us.
哟，这不是大小姐吗？要不要啥子今天刚摘的瓜？
谢谢老伯的心意了。
Now, should I replace the dead picture I have with her with a living picture?
阿谢，
Feels like the respectful thing to do.
师姐，我回来啦！
Of course, we've already seen her get stabbed.
慢点儿，别摔着了。
We don't know the reason why it happens, but we've seen it in flashback form already.
我是想死你了。
哎，不是停学1年吗？怎么这么快就回来了？
当然是因为我太想师姐了。
就你嘴甜。
哦，对了，礼物。
给我的。
嗯，
谢谢阿谢。
喜欢就好。师姐，我想喝莲藕排骨汤。
已经炖上了。
哎，还有酸辣藕带。
备好了。
宗主，要很辣很辣的。
铁定辣出你眼泪花。
Gonna have to remember the lineage of the body that he takes over in the present.
教场。
So I feel like it's related to this, or is he part of the Jin clan? Sorry, but I'm not looking at the board. Hard for me to remember. God damn, how hot is it?
给我稳住了！
Did not expect pink lipstick.
这么简单的铁环阵都破不了，以后遇到凶灵你们怎么办？送死吗？给我多练1个时辰。
It's gonna be Fang Mian's wife.
2个成日里不思修炼，天天想着玩，跟着你们那大师兄有样学样，他连去姑苏听个学都要惹是生非，没个消停。你们是不是也要一起呀？
阿娘。
啊，是阿离呀。
So the answer was yes, by the way.
于夫人，
三娘，
Love her art design though.
这些孩子能
Great looking character.
自有他们的仙缘，这样迫着他们，恐适得其反。
就是因为你老护着惯着，这帮子弟才总是不成器。尤其是这大弟子，打架闹事，还要请宗主出马解决。这种事，我还是第一次见。
三娘，
It's not like she didn't have a
怎么？
point.
我说错了吗？他之前在莲花坞里胡闹也就罢了，眼下却丢脸丢到姑苏去了。明知道兰陵金氏和云梦江氏以后是姻亲，他还去和紫萱打架。
The dude's a jackass. Nobody cared that he was defending her honor, I think. Well, she clearly wears the pants, I guess.
阿娘，别生气。听说阿成在云深表现很好，蓝先生都赞他呢。
那小子总算也争气了一回。金珠银珠，我们走。
阿娘慢走。
谢师姐。
你们师兄弟好久没见了，去跟他们打个招呼吧。
哎，大，
So he just has this real the boy who lived vibe about him.
有没有想我啊？嗯，
Also, I very clearly get the sensation that we're in the, look how good things kind of are right now. So that we can reach that point that the flashbacks showed us how bad things are going to get.
嗯，挺强的，和我差不多。是。哎，听说靠近蓝忘机3步以内就得冻死，是真的吗？
Yes, with his magnetic lightning power.
那姑苏蓝氏的3000家规呢？嚯，这个倒是真的，刻了整整一座山呢。
Was it 3,000? I thought it was like 200 something. Sometimes the art of the show is friggin' amazing. I think I've seen a moon look that good in an anime before. Clearly not a donghua. Of the 2 donghua that I've seen.
三娘，
这么晚了，你来干什么？
我去你房里找你。金珠说你在这边。
有什么事吗？
Like, I've been conditioned to think that's a letter. I don't... Oh, it's a hairpin.
买这些无用东西做甚？
这簪子轻盈润泽，我瞧着好看。
Currently watching 3 different shows right now that are all inspired by China. And I just watched one where the box contained letters, so that's why I was thrown.
这次我去姑苏，同金宗主说到了阿离的婚事。
阿离的婚事是我与子轩母亲在他们小的时候就定下的，有什么问题吗？
我同金宗主已决定解除2家联姻。
好好的，为什么要解除？
He's a fucking
是为了阿
jackass.
离和金家公子两情相悦。如今看来，并非如此。咱们又何必勉强？
阿离见过子轩几面。 明显是喜欢他的，是子轩那小子说了什么吗
Yes.
他们小孩子家能懂什么？阿离那么好，子轩以后铁定喜欢都来不及。再说了，我与子轩母亲打小交道。
If you condone the abuse now, you're condoning the abuse forever.
现在云梦江氏与兰陵金氏再一联姻，有什么不好？
可是将来要共度一生的是他们自己。 若他们心意不通，却因为大人们的意愿，被强行绑在一起，
像我们这样是吗
Ouch. See, I thought he was just being submissive. I didn't realize they had this sort of
三娘
thing going on.
知道我没这个意思。
被硬着死小子，走到哪儿都是祸害。
又来了。
Really, no opinion that he stood up for your daughter?
不关他的事，他不闹这一出，这桩婚事会散。哼，自从那小子被你捡回莲花坞，你这颗心从来就没有摆正过。如果这次闹事的是江城，你会这么快赶去姑苏吗？你不会。
三娘，
他这次打掉了阿离的婚事，下次还不知道闹出什么事来。 不过也没什么，反正万事都有你这个宗主替他。
It's the oddity that we are having a conversation about this, but I don't feel like we're actually having a conversation about this. This is just a disappointing relationship. You know, as sad as that is, it's still kind of nice to have somebody standing up for you like that. I mean, not great to see it, no.
这次打掉了阿离的婚事，下次还不知道闹出什么事来。
See, I get the look on his face. That makes sense.
师姐，
But still, you've got your adoptive father standing up for you. I have to assume he at least knows what was said and what you did, and was a good thing.
Ashe,
对不起，师姐，我
是阿谢，又不是你的错。
可师姐伤心了。
阿谢，坐下说。自小阿娘便说，兰陵金氏的公子是我未来的夫婿。虽只见过几面，但金公子那般风神俊朗，极少会有人不。
Did we meet the same guy? That guy was not full of charisma.
可是细想起来，我其实并没有那么喜欢金公子的。我也期望同金公子白首偕老，但若我二人并非两情相悦，
师姐，
你呀，定是金家公子说了什么，你才出
It's
手
gonna
打
suck
他
if
吧
the Jin guy in the present is gonna
我只是
actually
看
be
他不顺眼。
his son and not the other guy's son, as I keep thinking it
你
is.
是我从小看着长大的，我还能不了解你？你哪里是看人不顺眼便随意出手的脾气啊？阿谢，这是错不在你的。金家公子虽好，但我还
Bullshit.
是想求那。
The more they say it, the more I'm against this guy.
互倾心，共白头。
And also, again, if memory serves, it's his sword that stabs you.
其实金子轩的孔雀不好，又娇气又自大。师姐这么好，值得更好的人。
So you think someone's talking about you, classic. And you know, not for the thing. In that scene was the sword. Give me shorthand for time passing. So it's weird that we're having a time skip. It was like it didn't seem like anything meaningful was happening in his life after we left. Well, you mentioned it before, chasing chickens and beautiful women. Though I don't think that's a chicken. I still think this is where he meant. Sorry, I'm not in my notes section anymore, so I don't remember if this is the name of the place that he mentioned last episode.
我们倒了。
Oh, I guess he went back to school and came back again now.
停一下，
Dead man's float.
哇，你终于舍得回来了！我还以为你瞧上了人家姑苏的姑娘，都不想回来了呢。
我又不是你。
Also, what girl in Guso? The entire time we were there, I don't think we ever saw one girl.
师兄弟们呢？
都在教场练剑呢。过段时间不又是青坛盛会吗？首日就有射箭比赛。
哦，今年是岐山温室举办的。
I can only imagine it become more problematic over the last year. Sorry, Nevernight. Pretty fucking badass name, too. So, I guess he got kicked out of Guso, and, Jiang Shang was allowed to go back, and he wasn't. In which case, I could understand why she was so upset, because it was essentially, I mean, her adopted kid getting kicked out of college. And not for nothing, also threatening the relationship that you've set up for a long time, but more so your adopted kid getting kicked out of college. That makes a lot more sense. I did not pick up on that, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit dense tonight, but I thought they were like on a break or something. So it doesn't seem like Guso would kind of be the place you take a break from. It was the element that both of them were being sent back, and it felt like Dad came to pick us up. So I feel like that's what was going on. You know, I also just thought we were going to spend a lot of time with those other guys that he like jumped onto like he was massive old school friends with. I mean, still probably the indication. But we like did nothing with that. Granted, I'm glad with what we got, because I think the dad and the mom relationship was the more pressing thing. The thing to really focus on. But at the same time, I always forget there's no next time on. Sometimes there's like an after credits thing, which is related to the episode, but never a next time on. Danhua just don't seem to do that. Yeah, I mean, I like this episode. This episode was a lot more, I don't really say relationship heavy. It was more direct. It was certainly more direct. I could follow exactly what was happening. The characters that appeared, the characters I've been waiting for to appear. However, I don't know really how to handle it, because we know who she winds up with. We know, well, I don't know if we know who kills her, but we know the weapon that kills her. This is like a fucked up game of Clue, right? I don't know where she died, but I know the murder weapon, and I don't know who did it, and that's what I'm trying to solve for. But the element that it feels like we know that she winds up with that dude, and that they have that kid, and then she gets stabbed by the sword at some point during the everything becomes horrible segment of the past. And at the same time, I do not. Clearly, the show doesn't want me to like that guy, but at the same time, clearly, the characters in the show like that guy. It is a hard thing to parse. I mean, I'm hoping eventually, Wang Ying goes back at some point so we can meet some of those guys again, like Nei Huanghang. Sorry, I didn't say that name right at all. Purple robes guy. It wasn't purple robes. I'm sorry. I've got to double check. I feel like I'm having a stroke. I'm not remembering this right. Ni Huang Sing. Purple robes. It's black and gold. What the hell was I thinking? It's probably because of the fact that Jiang Chang shows up there at the end, and I saw the banner and I didn't recognize the banner off the top of my head. Maybe I should add the crests to the blocks. Just to make the board a little bit more informed. I saw that and I was like, who's coming to visit? Maybe it's Ni Huang Sang. And it's Jiang Chang coming back. Because again, I didn't realize that he had left. Because we just weirdly time skip. We did this, all of the drama bit, and then a year passes, and we don't know what happened in that year, so... And I can kind of see why people would, in the present of the time that we're currently in, not the present of the time the show starts at, not like Wei Ying. He is a consummate fuck-up. It is going to be magical for him to become such an important figure as to change the entire world. Because he is doing jack all right now. I mean, literally, he saw his adoptive brother show up and dead man floated. He got kicked out of school. I mean, I guess to be fair, if he's not in the school, he has all the time in the world to test his ideas, though it doesn't seem like he's doing that, and technically back at the school would have been a better place to do it, because they sometimes bring in zombies or go out and deal with other supernatural stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Here's my problem. I think this was one of the better episodes that we've gotten so far. I really liked the mother character. I like the mother-father relationship thing that's going on, because that has some depth to it, plus the drama, plus a little bit of political intrigue based around it. But I don't know what it does to set up where we're going from here, or what we're doing. So, yeah, I think that's basically where I'm going to leave off here, because, as I said, there is a lot here. I'm all going to wind up in my notes section next time. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Set it off to the side for the notes section next time, so I can actually put to paper what I'm trying to put out there right now. So, that said, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?